So Eddie Howe's just met the press here this morning ahead of Newcastle United's home game against Wolverhampton Wanderers at St James's Park. Massive fixture for Newcastle this weekend in terms of trying to get back into contention for Europe. Eddie Howe stressing the importance of that in there. But the press conference really centering around a little bit of talk about Eddie Howe's own position, and not being suggested that he's under pressure, but obviously a lot of talk this week about different managers. Nagelsmann from Germany has been linked, and Eddie Howe pretty much took that sort of question head on, and his opinion was the only person that can define his future is himself, and he knows that there's still everything to play for. You know, it accepted that Newcastle got a very tough FA Cup draw, but it's still all to play for in the league. And while Newcastle's still in the cup, you know, you can't completely rule that one out either. So for Newcastle United fans, they know that the season really, everything's sort of dangling in the air, but Eddie Howe fully focused on the job in hand. I asked him if this season would be the one that defines him as manager of Newcastle United. I mean, last season's gone now, finishing fourth and getting the Carabao Cup final, but does this season define him as this been a greater test of his managerial acumen? And really, he said that basically he can only be judged at the end of this season, and that's all he'll do. He'll continue to work hard, put the hours in on the training field, which is exactly what got him through last season. And also, when he's got his fully fit squad back, when everyone's fit and firing, he's going to get a better opportunity to show what he can do. So much still to play for, and the Premier League offers so many opportunities still this season. Europa League, Europa Conference League, Champions League, probably just beyond Newcastle. But Eddie Howe hoping that, you know, he can still put up a big fight this season. Now, on injuries, Eddie Howe was asked about whether Matt Targett would be back in time for this game, suggested he wouldn't be. But the more positive news is Sven Botman has got through training. He's looked good in the eyes of Eddie Howe, and basically he's going to be back in contention for this game against Wolves. Obviously the long-term ones, Joe Linton and Nick Pope, they're going to be still missing for some time now. So really, Eddie Howe today in good spirits, obviously after the cup tie recently at Blackburn. You know, Newcastle scraping through, but ultimately the big test for Newcastle is Premier League football now, and before that FA Cup tie against Manchester City, they've got Wolverhampton Wanderers at home, and also that trip to Chelsea. And if they can get 3 or 4 points from those two games, then I think that's probably the minimum return that fans will be looking for. So hopefully Newcastle can go into that cup tie at Man City on a high, having done well in the Premier League. And Eddie Howe pretty much focused on that here today at the training ground.